Hello there. This is CwapTheNintendin here, and I return with a let's play of the middle of my first playthrough of Xenoblade Chronicles X, just like everybody else on the internet. Yeah, it's a lie. It's a lie. This is not the let's play that we've been hoping for. I'll do this game in like 3 years or 4 years, you know, after Sugar Conroy does this. But in the meantime, the real let's play is coming up in like 1 second. Help me, this game's taking control of my life and my brain. Beholdeth, as the borders go really weird. This is Sonic Lost World for the Nintendo Wii U and Nintendo 3DS, but we don't talk about that version because that version sucks. Now, whatever. But I might as well go into my opinions about this right here and right now. When this game first came out, a lot of people were very mixed about it. Like, they were bitterly divided about, like, you know, this particular version of the game. They like it, they don't like it, etc. They're indifferent to it, whatever. But for me personally, I really like this game. Sure, it has its, like, big flaws or whatever, but, you know, it's a fun little game, you know? And a perfect one to get me back up to, you know, whatever. So, let's start up a new game. And delete all the data, of course, but the DLC will be included, haha!
Drop the critters, Eggman! If you insist.
Whoa, that's harsh! You'll have to swing back around for it!
Predictable. He must really love those things! Oh, we're hit! Whoa! What's that in the clouds?
That must be the Lost Hex! Cool!
Less looking, more landing!
Alright, I can land this, but it's gonna be bumpy.
Remember, that planet is never going to be explained ever in any sort of capacity ever, because this game is just not that great at writing. Actually, it is great at writing, it's funny, but whatever the case. So the reason why people are kind of sort of mixed about this game is, well, the control. Because, you know, this is after the whole Sonic Unleashed era where it abandons the boost gameplay that we've all known from, you know, Unleashed, Colors, or Generations. Instead, we have, well, a run button. And spherical thingy-mabobs. Spherical gameplay, that's what it is. So, it's trying to be Mario Galaxy, but trust me, it really isn't. I mean, sure, we're hopping from planet to planet, but still, it's not like that at all. Also, for whatever reason, we have this whole parkour thing going around. Yet another reason why people are so mixed about this game. Well, sometimes the parkour works, sometimes it doesn't. Who knows? But either way, the basics of Sonic is still there. You're running, you're jumping, you're homing attacking enemies, using rings to protect yourself, blah blah blah, all that stuff. You know the drill at this point. And of course, automated sequences are still a thing in 3D Sonic, so there's that. Anyway, you'll notice that the controls are a bit, you know, different this time around, like I hinted at before. That's because, well, this game does feature the return of the spin dash. Yes, after a very long time, you can now utilize the spin dash once again. And to use it, you hold down the ZL button. I'm using the gamepad to control this. And you can actually hold the button down to keep the spin dash going, so yeah, there's that. Plus, it's really, really cool and all that jazz and jazz and jazz. And about the whole 100 rings thing, that's actually a thing that was patched in. Yeah, believe it or not, when this game first came out, that was my phone and Twitter just going off. This game initially didn't have the whole 100 rings equals extra life thing. There goes my phone again. yeah, so in a later version of the game, right now I'm playing version 4.0. This is the latest version of the game that's on the Wii U. They did patch that in at this point in time, so yeah, it was really, really weird how they just got rid of the whole 100 rings means extra life thing, but it's here now, so there it is. I'm trying to see if there is, but the camera doesn't... Yeah, that's the one thing about this, though. You can't actually control the camera, so that's kind of a downgrade at this point. Whereas the other 3D games would allow you to control it, this one doesn't for whatever reason. It's odd, but hey, I'll work with it. I'll work with it just fine. Either way, let's go over here and get these rings. About what I just collected, the red rings, unlike with certain games where they have red rings, yeah, red rings are just established as sort of the collectibles of Sonic at this point in time. For they first appeared in Sonic Colors, which I haven't LP'd yet, and they've basically become mainstays as collectibles here. Sometimes they do stuff, sometimes they don't, like in Sonic 4 Episode 2. Blah. For the red rings here, for each of the zones that we're going to be going through here, I might as well tell you right now, I am not going to collect every one of them. I'm only doing it for, I'm only collecting them as I see them. Because, well, collecting red rings basically means you get a Chaos Emerald in each world. Or rather, in each zone. As they call it here. But they're basically worlds at this point. They're basically worlds. The red rings, for every one of them you collect in every stage. Oh, dang it, I missed one. If I gotten that 2, and then that 1 in order, I would have gotten an extra life. But, yeah, for all the red rings you collect in every stage, blah, blah, blah. By the way, here's a wisp. It's basically the power-up that was introduced in Colors. I'll go over that in a bit. You get a Chaos Emerald. Collect all 7, and of course you get Supersonic. I don't really think it's worth it in this game. Yeah, honestly, I don't really think, like, getting Supersonic is worth getting all these red rings, because let me tell you right now. But first, if you tap the wisp button on the gamepad, like so, you can do this. You can utilize the power of the wisps here. Like what I just got is a laser wisp. I'll allow you to zip right through things and all that jazz. And of course, there's a lot more wisps, but we'll get to that when we get to that. But yeah, I'm not collecting the red rings because I don't think it's worth Supersonic because it makes the game harder. In a sense. But either way, that's the first level. So let's go onward.
Take it easy there.
Oh, stay calm, little guy. Sonic and Tails will get your buddies
okay?
back. Sonic,
No, it'll be
did you
all right.
get those animals back from Eggman?
Just the one container he tossed off his Eggmobile.
Wait a minute. Just the one? Weak. I would have gotten them all back by now.
Save the rest of them.
What? Let me
Oh,
go.
I hate to think what Eggman's doing to those poor things.
I'm on it.
Yeah, nice little cutscenes like that are your reward for doing that. You get to hear more of the voice actors here. Which, by the way, in 2010, actually, they did indeed change up the voice actors, starting with Sonic Freeriders and Sonic Colors, obviously. So that's why Sonic sounds like, you know, Roger Craig Smith and Tails sounds like Kate Higgins, because that is Kate Higgins. And of course, Roger Craig Smith, who is like Chris Redfield in Resident Evil, Batman in the latest Batman games, he's Sonic. Cindy Robinson is Amy Rose, and Travis Willingham is Knuckles. All pretty good actors, you know. If you ever watched Sonic Boom, the Sonic Boom cartoon, which, by the way, is awesome. I don't get what any of you people are talking about. We clearly know that the cartoon is the best Sonic Boom. They actually do really good jobs. They do. Honestly. And of course, Mike Pollock is still Eggman, because Eggman is awesome like that. But anyway, here's the world map. So, yeah, world maps. Can you believe it? Of course, you move around Sonic. You can get, like, an extra life and all that jazz. Which, by the way, extra lives are pretty much candy in this game. Pretty much just like your Mario games. But right here, something that you'll be using often. Circuses. You have to be playing in television mode in order to use these, by the way. And you have to use the gamepad in order to control it. So right now I'm using the gamepad to control this thing while Sonic is just flopping around, just getting all the animals out of the balloons. Yeah. Oh, by the way, you want, and I do repeat, you want to get these to complete these circuses. Because animals are a thing. Yes, animals are a thing that you need in order to complete the game. You see, Sonic is basically all about rescuing animals from Dr. Eggman, right? So, once again, they went back to the basics, like Sonic rescuing animals from things. And also, how did I die? I wasn't even looking at the laptop, though. It was really weird. But yeah, the animals actually return from, you know, the classic games. And you have to rescue them and stuff. And you basically have to grind animals. Yeah, I know, it sounds really weird saying this, but yeah, according to right here, in order to get to the boss stages right here, you need a certain amount of animals. So I'm going to be doing most of the animal circus grinding off screen. But right here, I do have the DLC stages. I'll go over them whenever we get to them. But right here, let's go to Windy Hill Zone 2.
Transformation 101. Bunnies to badniks. Boom! Instant army. It needs to be a big army if I'm taking over the world below.
You are quite the mighty conqueror.
Yes, I am. I conquered you, didn't I? And with your help, I'll not only rule the world, I'll finally destroy that blue nuisance, Sonic.
Eggman wants the little hedgehog destroyed.
Yeah, well, I feel like destroying something.
That's what I like about you, Zaz. Always ready for a fight, even before you know what you're fighting.
You bet. Bring it on and I'll rip it up.
Win or lose, I'll learn something about our enemy.
Windy Hill Zone 2. And I'm not even used to looking at the gamepad at this point. Basically what's on the gamepad is, right, I can't like switch to like not TV mode. Dang it. But hopefully I can. Yeah, see, right here. Nope. I haven't played this game on a TV, okay? But anyway, what I actually picked up on the world map right here while I was talking about, you know, what's on the world map, Omochel, the basic tutorial mode of, like, any Sonic game, explains that you have, like, little side missions that'll get you extra items on the world map. So that's a thing that you can do. Like, in a single attack, kill 3 or more enemies, get like over 500 rings, get 3 1-ups, all that stuff. All that big stuff. But right here, we have a sort of new wisp here. We have the Asteroid Wisp. And I can actually look at the gamepad for once in my life. But anyway, the Asteroid Wisp basically takes up debris, and the more debris you collect, the higher you jump. And you're gonna need that Asteroid Wisp in order to get this red ring right here. Again, I'm just collecting the red rings as I see them. By the way, you have to collect all the rings or you have to get everything in that little area in order to proceed onward. But don't go over there yet. Don't go over to where that big yellow Majora's Mask not moon thing is going. Instead, you want to go back, and you want to get this red ring right here. So, yeah, there's that. But anyway, that moon is looking ugly. And who's controlling the moon? That big old moon thingy right there. This guy, Zaz, as that dude explained in that cutscene. And unfortunately, this represents a little bit of a downgrade right here. As you probably mentioned, the homing attack right here. This time you can charge it up simply by looking at the guy. And basically, the homing attack is a lot stronger the more the cursor, like, charges up. And unfortunately, that also means mostly every boss fight in the game is pathetically easy because you have the charged homing attack right here. So, That's a thing. That is indeed a thing. Regardless, I have another circus. Basically, for the circuses, I'm going to grind them off-screen. I'm going to basically do all these levels, you know, off-screen and all that stuff. And I'm going to grind up enough until I have the maximum amount I do. Because, trust me, that's going to be my only grinding session in the entire world. Bar none. Right now, I do indeed have enough to get to the boss level. But for now, we have Windy Hill Zone 3. Which is your basic tunnel structure. Tunnel structure. That sounds promising, I guess. With pretty cool music track to boot. Also, I should probably mention, since I'm doing that whole Xenoblade and Smash video, since I'm basically doing like Smash-related things as of this point. Yes, Windy Hill is indeed a stage in Super Smash Bros. For 3DS and Wii U. And, it's basically more or less based on Windy Hill Act 1, basically. Where you have all these rotating windmills and all that stuff. You have, you know, your big springs, all that stuff. Plus the theme itself appears as well. So yeah, that's a thing. But either way, this is basically the level, just the tunnel thing right here, and oh god, and there it goes. That should be a signal of what's to come. And trust me, I do need all those lives for later on. Because even though I did practice this game, I don't feel like I'm good enough at this game to even consider me like that big of a god at this game. After all, this is only my this is only like my 4th playthrough of the game. What else can I do? What else can I do indeed? And the wind is really strong. Yeah, speaking of Windy Hill, the wind is surely picking up today. For whatever reason. The weather has been really weird. I don't know how, but it has. But either way, if you press Y on the gamepad, actually, you can do one of Sonic's, like, best attacks, the bounce attack. Which has been a thing ever since Sonic Adventure 2, where he had that bounce bracelet, which I still count that as the best representation of, like, the bounce attack that Sonic's ever had, because you could use it infinite times. Here, you can only use it, like, the 3 times before you forget. Before, you know, the game decides, hey, you can't do that anymore, so, yeah. That's the thing. Oh, watch it. Yeah, I'm gonna have to be, like, extra careful here, because, well, considering that I'm playing this game on the laptop where it's all laggy sometimes. Considering the fact that I'm playing this game on the laptop and where it's not going to be, you know, as perfect as it is, I'm not going to have the best, you know, time in the world per se. So, yeah, I'm going to have a time. Just a grand old time. Okay, once more with feeling. Okay. That's why you have the run button in this game. You use the ZR button to run. So you can go slowly and be more precise. And you know what? I actually kind of like that. I actually like how you can kind of be more precise with Sonic in this game. Because, well, basically think about, you know, the past few games that we've had where you're probably doing nothing but boosting everywhere. Well, according to Unleashed in Colors. Well, now there's a lot more platforming elements in this game. Well, Sonic isn't... Well, if you know you're Sonic, Sonic isn't just about, you know, just running through loop-de-loops and all that just yet. It's got a whole lot more platforming elements into it. It's still technically like a platformer as it is. So I kind of like how, you know, Sonic has, you know, sort of a run button. Plus, as of the series at this point, you wouldn't really think Sonic would have a run button. Because he's doing nothing but running. You know, when you move, it's his max speed that he's going to, whether it's in the classic days or if it's in the 3D games. But right here, he's actually running. You actually do have the opportunity to get in some running. So that's pretty damn good. That is pretty damn good. By the way, we got more animals. Let's continue onward. And of course, by onward, I mean pay up our total of animals so we can go on to the boss level. And if you notice, the game does sort of return to, you know, the whole, kind of sort of whole, 3-act structure that was in the first Sonic one, where, you know, you have 3 acts and then you have the boss act. Or rather, you have, well, or rather it's Sonic Advance 3, I don't know. Boss level time. Oh, and by the way, you have, like, your settings and all that stuff. And you can basically use, the gamepad as a source to control the settings. We have ranking on, item whisper off, Miiverse off. For the love of God, do not turn Miiverse on, because you're just gonna get items, and you'll never move on. Oh yeah, and this game does have co-op. Unfortunately, I'm lonely, so I don't have one. Let's go.
Hey, I've been looking for you, Baldy McNosehair. Who are your friends?
Friends? These are nobody's friends. They are the Deadly Six, and they are your worst enemies. Zaz, show this blue pest how you do things up here.
With pleasure. I've been itching for a fight all day.
I think you're itching because you need a bath.
Are you disrespecting me?
Maybe.
I'm gonna mess you up!
I'd love to stay and watch him disassemble you, but I have business to attend to.
I know the perfect spot to take care of you.
That's funny, because I know the perfect spot to kick you.
You know, the Deadly Six might be one-dimensional characters, but their interactions with Sonic are so good. Like, you know, especially with that line that Zaz says, like, "Are you disrespecting me?" And Sonic goes, "Maybe." Like, like Roger Craig Smith's delivery of "maybe" is just so funny. It's so good. But either way, we have Zaz to take care of, so let's go on to Windy Hill Act 4 and do things. And of course, I'm going for, you know, the red rings here, so this stage is going to take longer. In fact, we're already at over 20 minutes, like, into the video here, so, yeah, that's the thing.
I've been dreaming about pounding his sorry blue butt.
Ew! Too much information, TMI. No one wants to hear about you pounding your blue butt. God. Ah! Okay, freaking sheep. Why is sheep the greatest threat to Sonic? I have no idea. But that's a thing, apparently. So, yeah, there's that. Also, I did forget to mention, like, every time there's, like, an Act 2, be prepared to face one of the Deadly Six in, you know, sort of a mini-boss fight before the actual boss fight begins. Or rather, the mini-boss stage. Yeah. So, prepare for that. But either way, you actually can use the parkour to run up walls, too, in these, like, little 2D these little 2D sections, too. And speaking of the 2D sections, that's another thing, actually. While I don't mind the 2D sections, I do admit to something, like, Sonic feels a little bit stiff. Kind of like how I feel about, you know, kind of like how I feel about Sonic Colors control. Is, well, you know, control is subjective. It all depends on, like, how you feel about the control. But for me, I think Sonic controls fine. It's just that he feels a little bit slow when it comes to the 2D sections here.
I'm gonna take this hedgehog down, or the gang will rasp me till I'm blue.
Yeah, what Zaz said. Basically what Zaz said. But yeah, Sonic feels kind of stiff in these 2D sections. It does feel a little bit sluggish here and there. But honestly, if you can get past that, he controls just fine here. He controls just fine. Not like what he does in the 3DS version. No, 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 no. We do not speak of that version. We never speak of that version. Also, I did not do that, so whoopsie-diddle-doo. Looks like I gotta die. But don't worry, this game has a supplement of lives. Okay, here we go. Here we go. I'm gonna get a lot more debris anyway because, well, I'm gonna get just enough debris to jump high enough to get the red ring. Yeah, come on. Yes! Okay. And falling from there doesn't mean you die, actually. It just means, you just go back here. So thankfully that's a thing too. Alright, so the last red ring should be right here if I remember. Oh, come on. Alright. Alright, here we go. Come on. Okay, here we go. And this should do it. Yes. Okay, good. Now I can just focus on just getting through the level. Just getting through the level without any sort of hiccups whatsoever. Also, you may have noticed the flowers that I was dodging before. Those actually appeared in the first game. Like in the old Genesis days, you know, when you're in Green Hill Zone. Because this is basically discount Windy Hill. I mean, discount Green Hill. Basically what Sonic's been doing for, like, years. Also, Zaz, you are a butthole in that regard with that freaking moon! God! Or that freaking ball. Whatever. Also, how am I blasphemous to not mention the soundtrack? The soundtrack is awesome. As par for the course for Sonic. Obviously. And go, and we gotta chase. We gotta actually be chased by a thing right here. Also, this orchestral version of the Deadly Six theme is awesome too. But that doesn't mean the boss fight doesn't suck. Actually, that's one thing I will grant, like, the 3DS version, like points for, is the boss fights are surprisingly better than this, because literally we have a charged homing attack, like 2 hits with the whole fully charged homing attack, and he's already dead. Seriously. But that's it.
All right, we good to go or what, Tails?
I've built a TV out of paper clips.
Yeah.
And reprogrammed a supercomputer using dishwashing detergent and a toothpick.
I know.
So look, fixing a propeller on a biplane, that's about as difficult as taking a nap.
Okay, I didn't need your whole life story. A simple good to go would have been cool.
All right. Good to go!
Cool!
And they never use that plane ever again. Seriously, they do not. Oh, and by the way, about these items that we're getting right here, you do actually have a little bit of a briefcase item that you can use to use your stored items. Like, you have your classic items like this shield, the electric shield, speed shoes, all that good stuff that you can expect from Sonic. But yeah, that's the end of Windy Hill and the beginning of my grinding session, obviously, and I got an electric shield. That'll draw rings to me. So, yeah, there's that. Next time in Sonic Lost World, we are going to Desert Ruins, Zone 1. Or we're going to go to Desert Ruins. So, I will indeed see you guys on the next time. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.